As a kid, I always dreamed of having a desk setup. At the time, all I did was watch gaming videos, and I saw all of their crazy setups, and that really inspired me. Fast forward to today, and I'm a student, creator, and I have got my desk setup. This desk setup was a work in progress for 2022, and since then, I've spent more time at my desk than I spent with my family. So without further ado, let's take a look at the place that I spend the bulk of my time. There's only one place to start at a creator desk setup, and that is the computer of choice. This is the M1 Mac Mini from 2020. As a video editor and a podcast editor, this is the perfect machine for me. I'm a Final Cut editor and a little bit of an Apple fanboy, so there was really no other choice. I wanted a machine that could be stationary. I wanted to be able to do my work at my desk and not be able to do it anywhere else. That can seem a little counterintuitive, but I would work all day and edit videos all day if I could take it everywhere with me. But this way, when I go on vacation, I have to press pause. This has been my daily driver since freshman year of college, and it's done everything that I could ever ask it to do. Video editing, podcast editing, all of my schoolwork, it's never had a hiccup. My Mac Mini sits on top of a Thunderbolt dock. This dock allows for front I/O access, most importantly, that SD card slot. The extra I/O really helped my editing workflow. I'm able now to have multiple drives plugged in and my SD card, and still have a couple of ports left over. All around, this setup is perfect for me for all of my computing needs as a student and a creator. I would recommend the Mac Mini to anybody, especially for the price. It's a great machine. Now, my favorite part, what you use to interact with the computer. These are my peripherals of choice. I went through a fair few. There's been a rotating door of mice and keyboards over the use of this desk setup. It was always difficult for me. I needed something that fit the price standards, also looked good, and was very functional. And I think I found the right tools for the job. Let's start with the mouse. This is the Logitech MX Master 2S. It's a couple generations old. That's exactly why this mouse works so well. I purchased it on Amazon for $58, which anybody who knows about the MX Master line is an incredible price. The most important feature of this mouse is the side scroll wheel, which as a video editor has become the most important and the most useful thing I've ever seen on a piece of I/O ever. Along with the ergonomics, overall aesthetic, and the unlimited scrolling wheel, it's truly the perfect mouse, and I couldn't recommend it anymore. There of course are newer models, the MX Master 3 and the MX Master 3S. They're a little bit pricier, and I don't even know if you could find the mouse that I have now for the same price that I purchased it at, but if you can, I highly recommend it. But all around, the MX Master series is the perfect line of mice for content creators. Next up, the keyboard. I used a wired keyboard for a while. It was a Keychron C1. Very big, very loud, very awesome at the time. But whenever I upgraded my desk setup, I wanted to go sleek, minimal, wireless, quieter, basically a full 180 of my previous keyboard, and that's what you see here. This is the Keychron K6. As far as off-the-shelf keyboards, this is my favorite one that I've ever used. It's equipped with Gatoron Brown switches for kind of a light thuddiness, which I really enjoy, especially in comparison to the clackety-clickety craziness of my previous keyboard. Wireless is also a great feature. The lack of clutter of the cable is such a great thing, and it just makes me more efficient and more productive. This keyboard also features backlighting, which is an incredible feature for typing in the dark, which as you can kind of tell by the ambiance of the room here, it's typically dark in here, so backlighting is a super huge thing as well. The only downside is no dedicated function row, which is a little bit annoying. I also don't use the function row a ton as somebody who uses a desktop setup with an audio interface plugged in. The only thing that I really use the function row for is window management. All around for the price, these peripherals are perfect for me. I would recommend them to anybody who's a student content creator, kind of in the same boat that I am. So as previously mentioned, I'm a video editor and podcast editor. And the most important part of both of those types of creating is the sound. This is the most recent addition to my desk setup, which is my audio setup. This is the Volt V1. This is the piece of tech that I get the most questions about. Why do you need basically a glorified headphone jack? Why do you need to plug your microphone in via XLR? All kinds of questions like that, which are completely reasonable things to ask, especially for people who aren't avid content creators. But the reason why I use the audio interface is because XLR sound quality is just better, and having a physical dial to up my audio levels is super important to me. I can also direct monitor anytime that I'm doing anything with my headphones on and using my microphone. These are all quality of life features that I think makes perfect sense to have an audio interface on your desk setup. The Volt V1 is a great piece of kit. It's small, it's minimal, compact, matches the vibe of my entire desk setup. It actually matches the Mac Mini very well as far as the materials used, and it's just a great piece of tech. The headphones of choice are the Rode NTH 100s. These headphones have been perfect for me. They're super comfortable, they keep my ears cool, the sound quality is great, and overall, I really couldn't recommend another pair of headphones anymore. From what I've read online, they don't work for everybody, and maybe I had the perfect head shape or ear shape or whatever to use these headphones, but I've had no complaints over about 6 months of using them. They really are my favorite headphones that I've ever used for over the ear. Next up is the desk microphone. So this is a Samson Q2U, same microphones that I use for my podcast, sitting on a Samson 26-inch boom arm. For the price, you can't beat the Samson Q2U for sound quality, functionality, versatility, durability. It really is so good at that mid-range budget, about $70 for a mic. Like I said, this is the microphone that I use for my podcast. I am looking to upgrade eventually to a slight upgrade of a mic, just something a little bit different. Time to kind of spice the setup up a little bit, I feel like. So microphone upgrade coming soon, but for right now, Samson Q2U. As a content creator, it's super important to have your audio dialed in, and with this audio setup, I feel like I can do that super easily. Next up is the monitor and monitor arm. This is by far the least touched side of the desk setup. Monitor could definitely use an upgrade. The monitor arm is pretty new, and I'm pretty happy with it. But the monitor of choice here is just a Spectre 27-inch IPS panel. It was about $170 on Amazon whenever I got it, and I just wanted a 27-inch screen, and that's what we have here. I don't have any massive complaints with this screen. It's fairly responsive, and I wouldn't want to go any smaller than 27 inches for video editing. I don't have much to say. It's not incredible, but it's not bad by any means. The monitor arm is made by Mount Up. I've had no problems with it. The adjustability is great, and it's really helped with cable management, and it's going to save future Austin's neck, back, posture, and all that other kind of stuff. Sitting on top of my monitor is a light bar off of Amazon. I really like it because it helps reduce eye strain, and it just lights up my desk very well for whenever I'm doing those inevitable late night edits. It's so important to have a space in your home that you can just work from. Your setup should inspire you to produce your best products every day. And I can confidently say that I've built a space that works for me in exactly that way. When I sit down at my desk, I feel 100% confident that I'm going to be able to make whatever piece of content I need to be able to make. It was a long journey to get to this point, a lot of trial and error, a lot of seeing what works and what doesn't work, but I feel like I've gotten to a good place where now I could make this video and give you guys some pointers or whatever, show you guys the products that I use for my desk setup. Everything that I recommended in this video is in the description, along with a couple of other things that I either didn't mention or alternatives or things of that nature for your setup that you're building right now if you're watching this video. I can't recommend building a setup enough for you. You should try it out and see how much more productive you are in the future. I'm Austin. I'm just a guy who makes videos, and I'll see you all next week. Peace.